you for responding to that question. So today I'm here to give you a kid's eye view of an innovative classroom. I'll be talking to you from the perspective of a student and a teacher because I do deliver these writing workshops and lessons about writing and social studies every day. I have some of that insight. And as I said, I want to know my audience, and I think it's important when you're teaching to know your audience. So today's kids love technology. We may not have been using it from the cradle as depicted in this picture. You can find a ton of them on Google. But we still crave interactions with real people, both online and face-to-face, not just facts in the book. And this is something that I think our ancestors have been doing for quite a while. And so that gives rise to social networking, like MySpace and Facebook and online interactive games. And it's probably one of the reasons why young people flock to those websites really often. Now, when you know this, then you can use this love of technology and love of online interaction to your own advantage. So, for instance, maybe using distance learning to interact with kids and to get them excited. And there are a few different ways that you can do this, as I'll outline in my presentation. Now, when you are trying to accomplish something, it's important to have a vision and know what you're trying to accomplish. And when I was thinking of an innovative classroom, then I usually start with looking it up. So I looked up innovative in the in-car dictionary, and I got new and creative, especially in the way that something is done. So taking that definition, I think that the innovative classroom is one where every student can learn to their full potential, one where students are engaged and interested, one where students are able to do quality work and show it using a quality platform, one where students have ownership over their learning. So not just, I'm doing this because the teacher told me, or I'm doing this because my parents want me to get good grades, but I'm doing this for myself. Sociality, and that is actually a word, meaning interaction and socialness, I'm not so sure about that one, in the classroom, having kids interact with each other, having kids create meaningful results as a result. An innovative classroom is one where learning is not passive, but reciprocal. So now I want you to write in chat your vision for an innovative classroom. So an innovative classroom is, I saw a very, very funny little comment there. She sounds so absolutely professional, amazing, scary, I think that's what you're trying to say. I'm going to crack up probably, which was not very professional. And yeah, I'm not so sure about socialness being a word. So, an innovative classroom is collaborative. Oh yes, and you can just type directly on the whiteboard actually, or in chat, either one is fine. So an innovative classroom is collaborative. The students are in charge, I'll take that out. Project-based learning, that's something I mentioned quite a bit. Everyone is busy learning what they want to learn about. Engaging. Good point. Yeah, we see quite a few engaging actually. Purposeful, interactive, engaged. So what you try is always new. So maybe originality. Yeah, that's a word. Originality. I was thinking originalness. Emerging technologies. Definitely interactive tools. Open. Definitely. An open classroom. Authentic learning, right? So it's not just doing tedious work, but it's really, you're drawing conclusions from that, drawing inferences. Working noise, social. I am seeing a lot of excellent thoughts here. So we see emerging technologies. A classroom is one that is open. And actually I read a good book, The World is Open. That's talking about the technologies that make it possible for anyone to learn at any time, anywhere. And so we think about this vision for an innovative classroom. It's one where it's collaborative, social, purposeful. And you see that there's a lot of you are agreeing that it's engaging, personal. So as far as personal goes, I think it's important to make it relevant, to draw the connections with those students, to make it relevant to them, to make it personal. Technology is not left at the door. Yes, definitely. So an innovative classroom, a 21st century classroom is all of these things. And now that might be all very fine and dandy, but I'm wondering, how do you accomplish that? Well, it's time to put the puzzle pieces together when it comes to implementation. Oh, and students definitely have choices about how they learn. Yes, definitely. So student control is a big topic for me. And you want to know how students learn in order to be able to implement things things in order to create an innovative classroom. So to teach, I first think about what is interesting to me as a learner, what makes learning special for me. So in order to show students that they have control over their learning process, then you want to give them activities, or give us activities, that are interesting and purposeful. So I like being able to use what I learn. Kids can be more practical than you give us credit for. Facts seem more relevant to me when I incorporate them into a creative project. So project-based learning. I find it easier to process new information if I'm reading for inspiration or looking for ideas to include in stories, poems, or blog entries. If I have a creative project in mind when I read, I have a greater sense of purpose. Instead of reading something because my teacher told me to read it, I'm looking for information that will be useful for my purposes, details or ideas I can incorporate into my project. Because clear purposes motivate students. Which brings me to classroom tool number 1. Give students access to create their own blogs or maybe school websites with services like School Wires, which is a sponsor here, to showcase what they have learned. So I think that it is an incredibly powerful tool to allow kids to make work and then publish it and gain recognition from their peers and from an audience that is made up of more than just the teacher, no offense, but that is really school-wide or classroom-wide, because it's kind of a positive peer pressure. When students understand that their work is being read by others, that their work is being read by their classmates, then they will make more of an effort to make that work truly good, and they will understand, well, writing is the mark I make on the world, and I want to make sure that mark is something I can be proud of. So give a check mark if you currently use a school website or a school blog to help showcase student work.